Welcome to another episode of Elon Phoenix Weekly. I am Taylor Lundquist.
And I'm Taylor Schmidt.
Well, we hope you like golf. There's a few packages today, including a golf tutorial and an interview.
Also, another message from the Women of Wins and a hilarious interview with the best personality on the baseball team. All that exclusively here on Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Our tutorial this week was spent at the golf range for a chipping lesson. I feel like this was probably my most skillful tutorial so far. Let's see if you think the same. All right, welcome to another episode of Taylor's Tutorials here at the golf range with Dawson Daniels, sophomore on the men's golfing team. We're just gonna hit some shots, see if my short game can get any better.
I don't have a ton of green to work with, so for me, I'm looking about halfway to the hole where I want to land it. And for setup, I like to have my feet generally pretty close together. And since this is a shorter shot, I want to get a little higher so it stops quicker, so I'll open the face a little bit. Have my weight forward still, center of my stance.
All right, so you're focusing more on just landing spot for distance control. You're not thinking about like where it's going to end up, more so where you want to land it.
No, so I'm not really thinking about the hole here. Just since, don't have a ton of green to work with, so really halfway point looks about good here. So I'm picking a spot, there's a little spot in the green I picked out, and I'm trying to get as close to landing it there as I can.
Ooh, that is chunky. Not too bad. Ooh. Oh. And so this is kind of same, weight forward, feet close, neutral.
Right, and face pretty square. You almost hood it a little bit, kind of a forward.
Are you just doing shaft forward a little bit?
And that would keep the ball lower.
Ooh, that flew a little bit. We'll go down there and we'll hit kind of up this way. What are you thinking about on longer shots?
So you gotta pick out a landing point just like we have for the last two shots, and you wanna think about height too. If you wanna skip it back there, you can fly it all the way there. Depends on slope in the green, if you have to force carry anything.
You just took one practice shot there, and you were, it looked like you were kind of hooding it.
Yeah,
right?
I like to keep it at the back of my stance and same forward press. That just keeps the ball lower. It even comes out with a lot of spin.
Mm-hmm.
So it'll kind of skip on its first bounce, and then it'll check on the second.
You gotta trust your alignment, which is probably the root of almost all my problems. Oh, that's the one. Oh wow, I will take that. Do you like pick out that one spot you want and then hit through there?
That's what I used to do. My dad used to draw a line behind the ball just for practice.
Uh-huh.
He'd just tell me to hit at that line. But now really I don't pick out something as much, it's more feel to my lob, but I don't have to hit it as far. And I'm trying to fly it about halfway there. Behind that one, but
Whoa! Howdy. Oh! That one was definitely a decel. Oh, go in. Go in. Well, we're putting. I want to ask you one question and try out a few more. Just everyone has the fascination with the flop shot, right?
Okay.
But it is probably one of the hardest shots to hit.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go and we're gonna try to hit a few flops.
All right.
And we're gonna see how it works.
All right, let's do it. Big swing, quarter stance. Just trying to get it high. Move that thing.
That was pretty saucy.
Whoa! Haha! Let's really open this one up. Haha! Oh, that's what I'm talking about. All right. Thanks for joining us on another episode of Tell Your Tutorials. Dawson Daniels on the men's golf team, and that's how you chip. The following weekend, Dawson and the men's golf team won the Pinehurst Intercollegiate Tournament by 20 strokes. Now, Taylor, I think that was probably my best one so far.
I couldn't agree more. I think you should take up golf or something.
I think I should probably start playing a little more.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, when we come back, our game of the week, more golf, and a baseball interview that will make you question the sanity of baseball players. We'll be right back.
Coming into college, I knew that I wanted to do some kind of journalism in broadcast capacity has to do with sports.
I also come from a big sports family. Everyone else went to really big ACC schools, and I wanted that, but on a smaller scale, and Elon provided just that.
I loved their communication school. I loved how innovative it was, what they were doing here, all of the amenities they have, the studios and cameras was super appealing to me.
I accepted Elon just because, I was kind of eager and just really wanted to just start getting into it. And Elon really gave me the best opportunity.
I just got an email after I was accepted, and they said, hey, do you want to be part of the Maroon Sports Broadcasting cohort? And I said, yeah, of course.
Being in the cohort taught me a lot of things that I didn't even know I didn't know or was even interested in. It gave a lot of really cool opportunities that I don't think I would have gotten without being in the cohort.
I was really all in and doing really everything I could, and they really kind of jump-started me in getting the opportunities I wanted.
I'm so glad I joined these organizations, not only to gain experience, but to gain friendships and also people that I can rely on and I know that I'll be working with in the future when we're all in the professional world.
We understand the grind and the hustle of being a sports video person. So these are the people that I'll continue to be friends with after school and also that are going to help me in the professional realm. I think what Elon Sports Vision can do is give them a wide array of opportunities and show them all of the different possibilities that are available in the sports video world.
A bigger school that's maybe more prestigious for sports broadcast, you would never get these opportunities because they're all professional guys or graduates that are trying to make it big and get to the next level. And so your underclassmen or your undergraduates don't have the opportunities that we're given here at Elon.
I think Elon Sports Vision is, a place where really anyone can just come and have that passion be fueled.
This week's game of the week comes from last week's tutorial, the women's lacrosse team taking on Davidson at Rudd Field. And the Wildcats make the trip to Elon, North Carolina to take on the Phoenix. And we started off with Sarah Bowman finding the back of the net. Mae McGlynn back from some nagging injury again. And Bowman off to a quick 3-0 lead for the Phoenix. Now we find back to Bowman. Another one goes low. She finishes the day with 5 goals leading the way. And then Kate Mackel have a rip and drop the stick. Kate Mackel extending the lead further. Davidson would come back after a little celly from Kate Mackel. And then Elon puts another one in the back of the cage. And they keep on firing. Every time Davidson punches, Sarah Bowman and others return the favor. Mae McGlynn again goes upper 90, gets it past the Davidson keeper. And another one for McGlynn. She had 3 to her name. And here's another rip from Kate Mackel. My goodness, finds opposite post, and Elon wins it 11-10 over the Wildcats.
Emily Nash is a freshman on the women's golf team and recently won the individual tournament associated with the team's tournament in South Carolina. The team finished 22nd overall, but in her own tournament, Nash took the crown.
With golf, you always expect to be better. It doesn't matter how well you play, you always leave shots out on the golf course. So, do we strive for perfection? Yes. Do we achieve it? No. She's been working really hard on the game. She had a lot of problems when she came in over the winter term. Her swing had a lot of issues. She was working on a new putting stroke or new setup for putting, and she's had trouble chipping. So, was it a surprise? Well, it is and it isn't. I mean, that's where her game is. I mean, she's that good a player. The problem was that she's not been playing to that level.
Pretty much over J term, I put in so many extra hours, and same with the beginning of the spring. I was always kind of here early, stay late type thing, and then so I was just really happy to see kind of all my hard work sort of pay off. I mean, I was pretty happy with my scores. Definitely can do better, but I was glad that I at least put together 3 solid days.
Now, am I going to tell you it's a surprise? Well, maybe based on what I'd seen, 30 days earlier, but not that, that's where she is. She's a very good player.
One of my favorite parts of golf is competing and like being in contention to win, and so it was really nice to be in that position again.
Obviously, Emily will make the lineup in the top 5, and someone will drop out, but we'll have 6 players going, say, to the following tournament to Alabama.
I kind of felt, the little bit of pressure. Then I ended up playing the best I did on those 3 holes. I ended even, which was the best I did all week. So I was happy to be in that position again, and it was so nice to feel the winning, trying to win and stuff, because that's my favorite part of the game.
Mentally she's strong. That's her strong part of her game. She's very focused when she's out there. She's a competitor. She doesn't hit it as far as some of the other players at the college level, but she makes up for it in her poise on the golf course. I mean, she's very, very strong mentally on the golf course.
I'm really excited that kind of coach saw that and was able to put me in the lineup this time, because I really want to help the team and try to get us to win conference in a couple weeks. At the tournament, since I was the individual, I finished a little earlier, so I was able to watch some of my teammates, and it was just so nice, being there and being able to cheer for them and really wanting them to do well. So that's definitely different than what I've experienced in junior golf, because you're pretty much there on your own and you want everyone else in the field to do bad. But here, I want my whole team to do really well.
She'll tell you herself that, her height on the ball, we had to get that up. We're trying to get more distance off the tee, and she's achieved these, and hopefully it's only going to get better down the road.
When we come back, we hit the ice to look ahead to the Stanley Cup playoffs. And don't forget our baseball interview with a whole lot of laughs. We'll be right back.
If I had to pick something that I'm taking from Elon, I want to take that can-do mentality. I don't think the world needs another person talking about how many problems we have. I think the world needs people who are going to go out there and do something about them.
I didn't come to Elon to check a box or to fulfill requirements, to study conventionally. I came for the experiential components. I came for the people.
Welcome back, everyone. The NHL trade deadline passed a little over 2 weeks ago, and now, with less than a month to go in the season, the push for the playoffs is officially on. I'm here to fill you in on some Eastern Conference teams that are poised to do some damage, and one team that's in big trouble. The Boston Bruins are in ideal position to make another run to the final. The Bees have been getting scoring production from all 4 of their forward lines this season, and their top line is the best group of forwards in all of hockey right now. Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand are 2 of the 4 players remaining from the 2011 championship team. While the 3rd leading scorer in the NHL, David Pastrnak, rounds out the top forward group. Pastrnak has been difficult to contain all season long, especially on the power play, where he has 20 of his 48 goals. Charlie McAvoy and Torrey Krug and Matt Grzelcyk lead a defensive core for the Bruins that could skate and move the puck exceptionally well. Also on the back end, Zdeno Chara and Brandon Carlo each provide a strong physical presence. The Bruins are the most talented team in the league this season and will enter this year's playoffs as the team to beat. While a number of teams in the Metropolitan Division are rolling right now, the Pittsburgh Penguins are slumping at the worst possible time. The Pens have dropped 8 of 10, with the majority of those losses coming after their deadline day splash, which saw them add forwards Connor Sheary, Patrick Marleau, and Evan Rodriguez, while also adding Jason Zucker a few days prior. Many believe that the Pens will figure out their play in time for the postseason, but they certainly need to figure out their chemistry. The Penguins also failed to address their holes on the blue line during the trade deadline, and they'll need their goaltender Matt Murray to carry the team if they want to go on a run. Meanwhile, the hottest team in hockey is the Philadelphia Flyers, who ripped off a winning streak to get to the top of the Metropolitan Division, tied with the Washington Capitals. With Carter Hart in net and Claude Giroux leading the team on the offensive line, the Orange and Black look poised to make another deep run in the postseason, but they'll have the Pens and Caps in their way. It should be an exciting final month of the regular season heading into the Stanley Cup playoffs. This is Owen Gunn sending it back to Taylor and Tellier.
Thank you, Owen, and go Caps. Well, Women Influencers in Sport, or WINS, has been a growing group inside of Elon's community and has given tons of opportunities and lessons to young women over the past couple of years. This week, hear the message that they want the world to hear about the emergence of women in sport.
If you're providing the same talent on the field and raising the same amount of money with your sport, you should be compensated for that. So I think that's hopefully close in the future. But when we do get there, I think the sport industry will become even more complex and more advanced than it already is.
I think that the way that the women's national team is fighting for equality, they do the same amount of work that the men do. They're more successful, and they're not backing down is a great role model for other women's professional sports, college sports, young girls, that, hey, we're not where we want to be, but everyone needs to be involved in the fight.
It's hard to ignore. You can't ignore when female athletes who are professionals in their own right are doing the same amount of hard work, talent, skill as the men, and getting paid at a way less rate.
But it's not equal. The money is better. They raised the cap a significant amount. They're giving them, it is miles ahead of where they were, but it's not where the men are. And understanding it's a totally different model.
The male domination world is not what it used to be, and basically that women are empowering others. And I love when I have a mentor who's a male, and he brings the females and says, these people wouldn't be where they are today because of kind of what they brought to the table and their talents.
What's the difference between all male broadcast? I think everyone should have their job because they are qualified. So if all of your females are qualified to be in the spotlight, why not? Just again, show that there are more people that have sports related information and can share that, and just open the doors for anybody who has the qualifications.
But also to the general audience who may have doubts about women's abilities and expertise, that when they see it and realize that they're just as capable, I think it helps educate everyone.
Continue to play as many sports as possible, continue to have fun with it, continue to remember why you started playing in the first place, and if you want to continue to work in sports,
try to do as many things as possible.
Just have the confidence and go after what you want. Nothing is holding you back but yourself. And if you have the dream, you can make it happen.
I would say take risk. The number one place for dreams is in the graveyard. And the number one regret that people have on their deathbed is not following their dream. So truly listen to that inner voice inside, especially while you're young, because that is the time where you genuinely know what your North Star is.
I would tell her to keep pushing, that no matter what people say to you or how people pigeonhole you, that you can do whatever you want. If you want to be a coach in the NFL, somebody just did it. If you want to be a coach in the MLB, somebody already did it. So don't limit yourself to things that are typically female run. You can really do whatever you want to. And if there's no one's done it before, then you be the first one. Just keep pushing and don't let anybody tell you that you can't do something, because you definitely can.
Tellier, the wait is almost over. After this break, finally see the eye-opening interview into the life of one of the best dugout hype men in the country.
If I had to pick something that I'm taking from Elon, I want to take that can-do mentality. I don't think the world needs another person talking about how many problems we have. I think the world needs people who are going to go out there and do something about them.
Andrew Tovsky has been with Elon Baseball for 4 years now, and each year has continued to become the face of the team due to his incredible personality. He's an avid lover of birds, a huge donut fan. You know what? I'll let him tell you on this episode of Javik's Interview of the Week.
Have you ever been to an Elon baseball game and seen someone hyping up the dugout, sitting on a bucket outside the dugout, or just generally doing crazy stuff in general? It's probably this guy. This is Andrew Tovsky. I'm Javik Blake. Welcome to our Interview of the Week here on Elon Phoenix Weekly. Andrew, thanks so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having me. So
you're a senior here at Elon. You've played your 4 years here. You've seen a lot of great baseball as well, a lot of great moments. Do you have a favorite moment that sort of sticked out in the last 4 years?
Definitely last year. The last 2 games of the conference tournament, unfortunately, didn't end up going our way, but just being there and having those memories with our guys and being able to create special memories. Ty Hadcock's 2-run double in the top of the ninth, or bottom of the ninth actually. Just things you'll take with you and really cool to be a part of.
How awesome was it to be a part of that team last year that won the CA regular season title and then made it all the way to the conference championship game?
Really cool. It's always fun to be a part of a good team and be able to win championships, but when you're able to do it with a group of guys that we were super close last year, and especially being an upperclassman, guys that you've now spent 2, 3, 4 years with, the same team in the locker room every day, just really makes it that much more special.
Now you're the leader on the bench. We see you hyping up the bench, starting a dugout rave. We saw that last weekend. What does it take to lead the bench?
Definitely have to be loud. You have to have I feel like you have to have a good sense of your team. Know what makes guys tick, know what to say in certain situations, and know when to kind of go hands off and when to kind of ramp things up and if we need a run in the 7th or the 8th inning, you know, that's sometimes going to start in the dugout, and I feel like you have to have a good sense of where that comes from.
Is there a favorite thing you've done in the dugout in these past 4 years? 'Cause we've seen you do a whole lot.
It's always special when we have the Powerades. Those are always fun days. The dance parties are always fun. They do a really good job up top of giving us some good music that'll get us going.
And you're out here as the DJ whenever that happens, right?
Sometimes, yeah. I've kind of taken that role. I'm getting to the point where I'm starting to have to hand over the reins to some of the younger guys, and they've done a great job this year of stepping up and really taking charge of that role and really mixing some good sounds for us.
And we saw last year, you did a mic'd up interview with Peter Fortunato, which was probably one of the best things that I've seen in the past year. So how did that come about?
That was something that me and Peter had talked about for a long time. He brought the idea up first, and I love talking, obviously, so it kind of just made sense. It was something that I think got our team going. Everybody was excited to see the end product, and Peter did a great job. He did a great job all the way through last year, and yeah, he just did a great job of doing that for us and doing that for me, and you know, I love him for it.
And you had a couple of home runs that game. There was one point though where you started making like animal noises, bird noise. That's something you do often?
Well, I love birds. I love animals, and it's just something that I've always done. And yeah, really anything I can do to get our team going and get our dugout going a little bit.
Is there a favorite bird noise to make?
I do a pretty good cardinal. I'm not gonna do it right now because I don't perform well under pressure, but I do a pretty good cardinal.
And now you also have done a Krispy Kreme photo shoot. If you haven't seen this, Media Day this season, you were snubbed for the Foul Pole Sports All-Buffet team a year ago, and to try and get to the All-Buffet team this year, and these are guys who basically just incite fear in the other team when they walk off the bus. But you got snubbed last year. This year, as part of your candidacy, you did a photo shoot with a box of Krispy Kreme donuts. How awesome was that?
It was good. It was fun. They said Pierce told us if you have anything that you know you want to bring on, anything you love, anything that you really enjoy doing every day, bring it on as a prop. And I love food. I love to eat, so it kind of just made sense.
Is Krispy Kreme donuts your favorite food to eat?
It's up there. The one in Burlington isn't always hot now, so that kind of affects it. But I whenever I can get my hands on some Krispy Kreme, if they gotta be hot, but if I can get
do you just like the original glaze, or is there something else?
I love the raspberry filled too, the jelly.
Really?
I do.
It's an interesting one.
Yeah, there's another place, Jelly Donuts. North Carolina Jelly Donuts.
They have the big donuts too.
And those are more of my speed. I think Krispy Kreme kind of they snub the size a little bit, so that's a problem for me. But no, I'll always stay true to my roots. I love Krispy Kreme.
So back to the All-Buffet team, how much would it mean to you if you were named to the 2020 All-Buffet team, in your senior season nonetheless?
It would be huge. I mean, I've been putting in a lot of work, a lot of time, eating a lot of food, skipping a lot of running. My roommates have helped me out a lot. We've been cooking a lot of meals together, eating out a lot. So yeah, it would be really nice to see that come to fruition for me.
Now back to a more serious note, you are a senior. You're going to be going off into the world after this year, after Elon. What are your plans? Do you have any plans?
I don't have any plans, not yet, not in stone. I'm doing environmental science at school right now. I've applied to a job at the EPA, hoping that goes well for me. But yeah, we'll see where the road takes me. I'll definitely be eating food.
Well, we wish you nothing but the best. Thanks so much for joining us today. This is Andrew Tofsky. I'm Javik Blake, and a man who loves Krispy Kreme donuts right here on Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Well, I don't know if we can do any bird noises in studio, but I sure would like to know how he does that cardinal noise. Anyway, thanks for joining us on another episode of Elon Phoenix Weekly. If you missed anything or want to watch it again, check us out on all social media platforms at Elon Phoenix Weekly.
Did you miss the game of the week? Not a problem. You can re-watch all of our episodes on YouTube by searching Elon Phoenix Weekly. And don't forget to tune in next time for Elon Phoenix Weekly. I'm Taylor Schmidt.
And I'm Taylor Lundquist. Have a great day.